I said certified freak, 7 days a week. Wet ass, make that pull out game weak.
Girl, I don't do titles. If I do, it'll be Michael. Keeps you spicy, tipping trainy. Yellow bone chick look like K Donnie. Freaking the sheets, freak on them beats. Been hooked since big old freak. I realized that I was with R&B. I'ma start rap beat. These got no name on them. Wish these hoes stop trying to put claim on them. He come around me, get game on him. If he don't go, then I already came on him. These new hoes sound like my mixtape. Saying my name like it's clickbait. I don't take shit if they come with the dishes. I don't shit if they come in his name. I'm not your better yet, cause I don't sleep on me. Look like a lick, then I'm putting the flick on them. I look at niggas that's begging I'm hang. Cause my shit young thug and I'm the rich on boy. I ain't finna read all the text, don't know what it said, but I send that's a bet. Lately my patience been getting real low. Lately I feel like I need more respect. It was the money for me, ayy. He gon' go dummy for me, ayy. He ain't that cute, but he could dress. It's to protect for me, ayy. It was the need for him, the way that it squeezed for him, ayy. He did a whole lot of but it was the mean for him. Hey, y'all wanna take me out so bad. I make all of y'all hoes so mad. Hoes wouldn't bout them big ass teeth. Hear me out smell, still going outside. Hoes got jokes, but don't never wanna stand up. Hoes got balls, but you know I got handles. Damn, I must be Olivia Pope, cause y'all keep putting me in all of these scandals. He wanna hear one more time, I ain't pretty. Don't need no closure, my diamonds got clarity. Telling his new don't do Instagram, really hate when he's scrolling, see pictures. Like a new show, all these is into me. Funny how Messi turn into my end. I must be playing peekaboo, cause these hoes really can't see.
Y'all be swallow me, drip down the side of me, clear jump out, but you let it get inside of me. I tell them what I'm putting, never tell them where I'm about to be. I'm turned down on the boy, I haven't heard of me. Talk to bite your lip, ask for a call while you ride that. While you really ain't never got him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots, hang your coat, fuck his wet ass. He bought a phone just for pictures of his wet ass. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on his wet ass. Now make it rain if you wanna see some wet ass.
Let me do this. How is everybody doing? Had to put on a little Megan Thee Stallion. It's early for Megan, ain't it? It's a little early for Freak Nasty, but we have to bring it in the correct way when we're talking about Megan Pete. If you are just getting in here, remember to hit that like button. Show us some love down there in the chat on every single one of our platforms. And let us know if you've seen the doc already and what you thought about it. Who am I going to bring out first? I'm going to bring out EJ first and see what she thought about old Megan Thee Stallion in her words, because I think she ain't shed a thug tear or two. Hey, EJ?
I shed them tears, girl. I was shedding them. Listen, I love this documentary. First and foremost, what up to everybody in the chat? Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate you. But yes, I really like this documentary. I felt like she was vulnerable. She was open. And yes, I did shed a thug tear. Tyra, don't be out here hating on me with my girls.
I would never hate on you, but I'm like, y'all was crying. Y'all was crying watching the doc. What part did you cry, if you don't mind me asking? At what part did you cry?
It was mainly when she was talking about her mom and how she didn't have anybody, especially after the whole Kelsey thing. She thought Kelsey was a friend. And then now she's just kind of alone. And you could feel the aloneness, like she just had nobody. And that just kind of gave me a little, I was like, oh, God, that was kind of hurtful.
I get it. let me bring out Kay Bly in the back with the books. I want to know if Kay shed a thug tear, because Kay is a thug and she rarely shares a tear, but maybe Megan had her crying in the car. Kay?
Now y'all know damn well I ain't shed no thug tears for this. But it was a good documentary though. I did appreciate it, and I love that she included her love for anime within the documentary. I love the animation there. It really made me feel like she put her stamp on it, that they didn't just make a documentary, that she was very much involved in it. So I did love that part. But no, I wouldn't shed no tears. It wouldn't touch into my heart.
Last but not least,
OG, triple OG.
With the sweet perspective, Ashley, did you? It don't have to be a thug tear. Did you shed any tears? And if so, why? Mute it, Ashley.
Baby, I cried real tears, and I'm not ashamed of it. The first 5, 10, 15 minutes, I was crying. And I don't know, like, And maybe it's when you've experienced the loss of a mother and you were like raised as an only child, it just hits different. And so I felt her every step of the way. Her mama was like her best friend. Like she idolized her mom. Her mom was her everything in her life. We know that her dad was in prison for the majority of her life and then he passed away. All she had in this world was her mom. And she wanted to make her mom proud. She wanted to be just like her. Her mama made all her decisions. Like it was relatable to me. And I think it just hit different. It did. I felt for my good sis. And even the part where she's like, I wasn't even in my right mind. Like I felt that. I felt that thing super, super deep. And I just loved how vulnerable she was in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was there with y'all. I maybe didn't shed a thug tear or nothing, but I was there. I felt it. EJ, I'm gonna come to you first because I don't know who's all a fan here and who isn't. If you guys listen to her or not, or if you had an opinion of her based on the trial, and maybe it changed. Who knows? But EJ, how did you feel about Megan Thee Stallion before watching this, and how did you feel about it after?
Listen, I always been I like Meg. Meg is from Texas. I mean, come on now. You gotta love Meg. But yeah, I didn't have any like when all of that stuff was going on, I actually didn't like really buy into any of it. Like I didn't really like just zone in on everything that everybody was saying because it felt like it was just a clickbait story and it felt like they were trying to like capitalize off of someone's pain, just having this. It just felt all weird to me. So before the documentary, Meg fan. After the documentary, I just saw it on just even a different level, like on a deeper level of, okay, yeah, that's what it is what I thought it was, in my opinion.
Kay, what about you? How did you feel about Megan before this? Are you a fan? And how did you feel about her after watching this doc?
I mean, some of her sweet, but I mean, overall, I feel like I'm too old to be listening to some of her. Like, I don't know. I'm a millennial. I listen to a lot of millennial level music. So I don't listen to everything she do. I'm not putting no money into her buying streaming album ticket sale. I ain't doing none of that. But the stuff that dealt with her and Tori, I felt I understand the way I look at it as I don't like the double standard of the people who hate on her music because of what she talks about. If you listen to dudes talk about the same thing, I don't like the double standard there, and I don't like that she wasn't being protected as much as she was. So like her as a person, I totally completely felt for her because I don't feel like the backlash that she got from the whole situation was well deserved. Like she was drugged in the media and she that and so I felt for her for that.
Child, I'm more so over there with EJ, baby. I'm Houston, Texas all day, born and raised. I love Megan. I love Megan down. Megan is very, very Texas, and Megan is extremely talented. Megan is one of the few like rap girlies who is still in the realm of the old school dojas and whatnot. Like we have charisma. She can rap, she can dance. Like she is a performer, and I love that. I'm with Tina Snower more than a Megan Thee Stallion because we're trying to get ratchet. We're trying to get thug. We're trying to get ratchet. So I'm over there. But I love Megan down. We finna freak nasty all day.
Yeah.
Ashley, how did you feel about Megan before and after this doc?
Yeah, like I've always liked Meg. Meg is a big talent, and I'm here for any woman out here who's going to get it out the mud. And she worked and she worked and she worked, and she's very lyrical. I think she's a smart young woman. I saw everything good about her, and she genuinely seems to have a good spirit. Now, did she go through some things? Absolutely. I remember vaguely, like I'll say I was a casual fan. Like there's definitely Meg in my playlist. But I didn't really follow her career like that. Like I wouldn't call myself a hottie per se, right? And then the Tory thing came out. I was like, he lying. I knew it. And it was interesting because you did feel like that burden from her, like, I need to protect him, so I'm not going to say anything, because that's the part I thought was weird, right? She didn't want to talk about it. She wasn't going to accuse anybody. Like, Heffa, there was only 4 of y'all there. You know who popped you. And so I got that she's trying to protect him. But then when he comes out talking his ish, I said, oh, that's cap. So no, that didn't taint my view of her. I was still staying 10 toes down. And after the documentary, I feel like it even makes more sense. Did she make some mistakes? Absolutely, but I'll still be in her corner.
Child, because baby, the way I was like, who is Megan Thee Stallion? I was like, oh, she an actual stallion. This just fine. Girl, we finna pop out. We are about to pop out. We start here in the doc. We don't have to spend any time here. I just want to acknowledge that Megan is a graduate. I just wanted to acknowledge that because I thought that when this happened, this was so unique for her to be one of the rap girlies. Like once it's all about, grinding and trying to get put on, and you kind of leave stuff like education by the wayside. So the fact that she still was avid about, becoming a graduate and walking across that stage, and even though we know she technically doesn't really need this, she has it, and I just love that about her because baby, I had never seen it. I was like, she going to school? She going to school? Like,
oh yeah, I knew that she did that, and at least she finished her degree.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon University for 15 years supposedly, and still ain't did nothing.
Hey, Cannon. No, I thought that was really, really epic at the time when it was like, oh, all right, hotties, get your education. I'm here for it. But the main sauce with this, because she's leaving at graduation, and it's like, I really wish my mom was here to see it because she would have been so proud of me. And we get a lot into Megan. Like Kay said in the beginning, I really love the aspect of the animation here. If you are a Megan fan, even a little bit, you know that she loves her some anime. So for her to use that as an avenue to tell her story, it just made it feel a whole lot more personal, especially in place where maybe images and pictures couldn't be. It was nice. But she was a sensitive child. When she said I was a crybaby, I was like, okay, it makes sense. This absolutely, makes absolute sense as to why her demeanor can be how it is. And we give off one thing and another because at heart, she's really, really sensitive. But, she's taught to be, all demanding and strong because mama don't play that. And we are raised up by our mom. Of course, we learn about her dad. He was arrested and was let out, later, but he eventually passed away her freshman year in high school. But for the most part, even though she had a relationship with both, it was all about her family, all about her mother. Her mother was her everything. I knew that the mom was a manager and everything before she passed, but I didn't know like the depths and how far that went. So for us to get that in like measure here, I was like, oh my goodness, it wasn't just a mom. This is like her best friend. Like they had a very, very close relationship, and I didn't know how heavy her hand was beyond her just being an influencer and inspiration. Like no, mama was handling everything, so you really feel the blunt force of when that's no longer there. But Ashley, I'm going to come to you first. How did you feel about getting to know young Megan and mama Megan?
I feel like it tracks, like it makes sense because and that goes with any child, especially when you're raised in a single parent household, whether it's a mother or a father, but especially a mother, the child, especially if it's a good mother, right? The child tends to idolize her and want to be like her. I think it explains a lot of how lost she was after her mom passed, because literally her mom did everything for her, instructed her in every way. Like she said, my mama was rapping, so I was gonna rap. I would practice. We would have rap battles. Mama was like, baby, you're not twerking it. Like I said, like you can do better than this, Meg. Like, you know what I mean? Just her number one cheerleader, signed all the contracts, made all the deals, everything. It made so much sense to me. Like she just felt lost without her. I love their bond, even though, if I'm speaking for me, I'm not cussing in front of my mama. I don't cuss really anyway, but I ain't cussing in front of my mama. My cooter ain't gonna be out swinging in the air in front of my mama. But but you got this. Not only was it a mother-daughter relationship, but that was literally her best friend. I think the doc did a great job of demonstrating that. And also the call for Meg to be stronger, because her mom knew who she was. She's like, I know my baby's sensitive. I know she's gonna go somewhere and cry. No, get it together. You're going to be fine. We're going to do this. And without that, it's like she kind of lost herself and her backbone. But I enjoyed seeing this dynamic and going back down memory lane, because we find out not only mama died, granny died, daddy died, like even anyone familially close to her was gone after mom was gone. So,
yeah. I was here for her mom, but I also felt like the mother didn't leave a whole lot of room for Megan to be vulnerable. Like, from this, it just felt like you got like kind of getting back into that strong Black woman narrative. Like you're not allowed to cry. Like you got to pull it together. You can't let people out here think you're weak. And it feels like she internalized that so much that it kind of plays on her mental state and how vulnerable she's able to be in any space. And I think it kind of puts walls up even with this alter ego, because she's like, I was so sensitive and kind of out of my body. I had this rap persona, but how was I going to present it? And Megan Thee Stallion is an alter ego. That's not, so much of Megan Pete. So it just kind of, it feels like there's a mask on all the time, a little bit, in my opinion. Kay, what did you think about Mama Megan? Miss Holly.
Kind of like the classic textbook description of a single mom. Like, it's just me and you out here. So if it's us, I got to be both mom and dad. Somebody has to be the one to guide you and to be tough, especially if you're trying to navigate a world, especially in hip hop, where it's a male dominated world. You got to have a thick skin out here. You're going to face a lot of criticism. It's going to be tough. You can't, you can't crumble under the pressure of this, because you're going to be seen as weak. You're not going to make it. This business is cutthroat.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do when you have a sensitive child. So, which means that she learned from a young age to numb herself.
Yeah.
She learned to be avoidant of some of those emotions. And then after her mom passed, I thought a lot about Kanye West, because after his anchor was gone, we saw where that led him, where that was so much heavy on your anchor, the only thing holding you down and grounding you, your biggest influence. And when you don't have that, and when you don't have anybody that's a second place, a second runner up to kind of hold you down and ground you, that's going to be a mental strain, and it's going to mess with your mental health. And sometimes people don't bounce back from that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, she's strong, baby, because all of this was just a lot of loss, just rapid, even with the dad, the grandma, and the mother. EJ, how did you feel about Miss Holly?
I love the dynamics of their relationship. Honestly, they were best friends, and the mom and daughter aspect of it. And I too probably would have been a little bit scared to cuss in front of my mama, but that just goes to show that they had a different dynamic. And I love that dynamic for them, honestly. And I love the fact that she's able to twerk in front of her mom, because now I can do the things that I want to do, and I can have this safe space, and my mom is gonna root me on, and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, but you ain't lose. I know you can go harder than that, girl. Go do it a little bit harder." I love that part of it, because I really feel like you don't necessarily always get to see it, and when you do get to see it, people look at it so negative. Like, why would you tell her to do that? Like, but if this is what she wants to do, at the end of the day, let me root her on. Let me be her biggest fan, because she's gonna do it whether I say don't do it or not do it. Especially if I say don't do it, she's probably gonna want to do it even more. So I love that aspect of them. I too am a sensitive person, so I know how it feels to to have a strong parent and not feel like you don't want to cry all the time, but internally you always want to cry, because everything is so, like, everything is heartbreaking to me. A commercial is heartbreaking. Like, I see things and I just want to cry, and girl, it's real. And so I understood her in that moment. I was like, it's hard being sensitive, but still having to be strong to the world, because you don't want the world to see you break, so I really enjoyed the vulnerability of this, but Mama is the real MVP. I loved how she handled their relationship.
I love Mama. I just wanted some more of that emotional support there. I wanted hot girl support group, because when she said that she wasn't even like allowed to mourn her dad because she didn't want it to affect her mind, she was like, so we never talked about it. And it feels like that's how she's been moving through her life. And I was sad at the fact that I didn't even feel like we had confirmation that Megan had properly grieved anybody by the time this doc was over. It feels like it was a work in progress. But I was like, dang, somebody give Megan a hug.
Because Black people don't like to talk about emotions and feelings, and it's just like not something that we just grow up hearing. Our parents are not teaching emotional intelligence, and it's okay to grieve, it's okay to cry, it's okay to talk about how you feel. It's just classic within the Black community, and I'm just hoping every day that kind of stops, that we can get better at having that. And as close as her and her mom was, again, she didn't teach her anything about how to manage her emotions other than you got to be tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Lord. Very black mama.
Yeah,
very, very
exactly.
Houston black mama.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the 90 people in here. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you are supporting. Make sure you're running up the chat. Make sure you're showing the ladies some love on their ends with a super chat, or even any questions or anything that you saw in this doc that we are not bringing up here. Now we get into big old freak, hey, big booty, big old tree. Ow, we get our first number one. We get to see Megan grinding. And it really, I think that's what I liked about Megan. It felt familiar to those throwback like female MCs. It wasn't her getting put on because of this or the third, or she was some big Instagram sensation. No, she had to work her way up from the bottom, and she had support of her mother. So we're grinding, we're performing. That girl, we in the park, we outside the school, we in the bars, we everywhere. But we are actually building up this stallion to we are getting signed to we're getting that first, really big hit single. And then we instantly lose our foundation as soon as we get there. As soon as we get there. I don't think I took any time to acknowledge just how young Megan was. She's like 22, 23 years old.
A baby.
And her mom is gone overnight. It felt very, very instant. I was like, dang. I just think that with Megan's persona and how she always has autonomy over her body and her sexuality, it just gave that she was older to me. I was like, girl, I could tell you about 23. EJ?
Girl. First and foremost, shout out to big old freak. But no, but seriously, I mean, girl, I couldn't even imagine having to try to navigate that, especially y'all remember that part where she looks at her mom to get the okay that this is okay. Yeah. And then you get into this world right here. You finally make it, right? What we've been working for. And now you don't even know how to, you don't have any confirmations. You can't look over and look for the confirmation and say, or look for that good job. That part broke me, Tyra. That part got me. She said, I can't even nobody to say good job or you did a good job. Oh God, that was sad. I ain't gonna cry.
I was also worried about that because I was like, Megan, you don't need that, baby. You did a good job. Girl, you don't need that. But the fact that she's just looking for that confirmation because that's the role that her mom played that entire time. Kay, how did you feel when Megan lost her mother? And I thought it was just something gradual. The fact that she had to pull the plug. I was like, Megan, you had to pull the plug yourself. This is a whole lot. Kay, how did you feel about it? And did you think that her mother knew? I feel like she was a little bit heavy-handed with, you got to be strong and you got to continue no matter what. I kind of felt like with this doc, she was prepping her because Megan's just it came out of nowhere. And then kind of overnight, the brain tumor excelled and she was dead. And, we had to pull the plug. Do you feel like the mom knew or this was a surprise to everyone? Because I'm asking you, Kay. I'm sorry. I'm asking you because she, like we said, she isn't more so on the emotional, intelligent side. So I feel like she would oh, let me keep this to myself because I want my baby to keep going. She don't need to worry about this.
Oh my goodness, I can't. When black moms do this, one of my best friends, his mother did something similar. She did not tell him that she had cancer. Mm-hmm. His older siblings knew. But he didn't find out until 2 weeks before she passed. And it hit him really, really hard. Black people don't do your children like that. Let them know. And also set up support systems. If you know that you are their first, their last, their everything, none of us get to live forever. She should have been able to say, this is someone else. Set up a support system to where this is someone else you could go to. There's a lot going here. Let's go ahead and find you a good old black therapist or something that can be there if you need someone to go and to talk to. Let's weed out your friends and your family and your cousins to see which one is actually here for you and someone that's a good influence on your life for you so that she has support and mentorship around her. I know my daughter's an only child.
Yeah.
And so I make sure that she spends time with her grandparents. She spends time with her cousins and her aunties so that if something ever happens to me or if she gets to a place where she feels like she can't talk to me, she can call one of her cousins or her aunts or her grandparents. You have to set up a community of something because we're not owed any more than the 24 hours that we got.
Ashley?
Yeah, I actually don't think she really knew way in advance. It sounded like I'm talking funny. Call the police for me, like call the people, call the ambulance. But I think anyway, as a single mom, I agree with Kay. You should have something in place, especially when you know that your child is almost fully dependent on you. Megan said she didn't make no decisions. Everything was mom. So even from like a business perspective, an emotional perspective, but I think the mom being so young, she didn't expect this. You know what I mean? And I guess it is kind of a cautionary tale that, you know, when you do have kids and you're a single parent, make sure you have like infrastructure in place. But this was heartbreaking, baby. I was crying real bad. And I too did not know that she was the one who had to make the decision. And just to think, the idea she made no decisions in her life. Like she made no big decisions. And this is like the biggest decision she'd ever have to make.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard would it have been? I mean, for me, that lady probably still would have been alive somewhere in somebody's hospital room. But even in that, I was proud of her because she said my mama wouldn't have wanted to live like this. And so let me do this. But I think even doing it, even though it wasn't on her, it wasn't her responsibility, I sometimes wonder if she also not only is dabbling like or feeling the grief of it, but also feeling some sort of guilt. Like I'm the one who pulled the plug. I just think it's so nuanced, her emotions. I felt this thing deeply heartbroken for her in that moment. And then you out on a limb. You got all the success, the money, everything you ever wanted, everything you've been working for. And now you don't have nobody to share it with. Not to sound cliche or anything, but that was, child, yeah, still crying at this point in the doc.
It was, and I knew it was gonna be emotional, so there's a little trivia in here to lighten the mood. It's a little fun to lighten the mood. EJ, I'm gonna come to you because you better know Texas bound. Who is Megan Thee Stallion's ultimate alter ego? Because we got Megan Thee Stallion, then we got somebody else.
Tina Snow.
Thank you. That's right. Ding, 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 ding. Good answer. Good answer. Family Feud. Good answer. I was gonna go to EJ. I wasn't gonna put that on you, Kay. Can you be like, oh no, why you give me that? Absolutely. Tina Snow is the ultimate. You know, when we get in over there to Tina Snow, she get real Pimp C, and I be here for that because you know,
Totally different.
We down here. But yeah, because who want to drive the boat? Who want to drive the boat? When Megan was at the peak of her success, and you know, I don't do any judgment, but I was like, she just got here. Why is she so damn friendly with everybody? You know, in the realm of what you see, because you're on the outside looking in, but you see a lot of industry politics and trying to be choosy with who you let into your circle. But we don't grieve at all. When Megan said I left Houston and just never went back, I was like, well, damn. I left Houston and I just never went back because my mother wouldn't have wanted me to stop what I was doing. She would have wanted me to keep going. So she's immediately, you know, not even a month later, back on stage performing in front of an audience. And I'm just not going to deal with that. But we are self-medicating with, you know, alcohol, sex, and all the, and success also. I think that drives her. She medicates herself with, that's also a drug for her, just wanting to see herself succeed. But, you know, we were putting out, you know, hit singles, and we get our collaboration with Beyonce. We are massive. Megan Thee Stallion is everywhere. Yet and still, we have not grieved one time. We have not, you know, got any help with our emotional support, and we driving the boat. Now, Ashley, how do you feel about Megan out here, you know, driving the boat, the alcohol, the sex, and the success in the way that people have pretty much judged her for, I guess, the way that she presents herself in the public eye? Because I think this kind of rolled over into when she was shot. Like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. You stay out here drinking. You stay out here effing on somebody's man. You like, who are you? You your big self. What are you crying for? Like, get over it. You're always looking for sympathy. You out here driving the boat and complaining. Ashley?
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that idea of that because you have like demonstrated certain behaviors. You're not entitled to sadness or to grief, or you don't make, I guess, a perfect, I don't want to say victim but I'm using that word for lack of a better word, right? Oh, you were doing this anyway. You deserved it. You're not that hurt. You're going to be all right. I think until you've been through this, you have no idea how you would react and the things that you would do. I felt like I lost years just like wandering. Like I know I wasn't in my right mind after my mom left for for that, and to be in the public eye and be judged nationally for those choices. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair at all, because I don't think people put themselves in her shoes to really look at what she was going through in the moment. I don't condone any of like the craziness, but I understand it. Like we were talking the other day, Tyra, and I think you said, she just wanted to feel good.
Yeah.
Like with all of the pain and everything else going on, you'd want to feel damn good too. Like you'd want to put all of the sadness, the hurt, the grief out of your mind. And you would do that by whatever it looked like for you. Some people might eat, some people might work out, some people might have all the smecks, some people might do any number of things, right? And I think it's so unfair to judge this woman. And I hate it even more because of the optics. Because for real, people act like they hate Black women. Black women can't have a weak moment. Black women can't have a whole phase without it being judged. Black women can't do nothing without the judgment of the world, even from other women. And that's the sick part to me. It be us. Like, that's sick and sad to me.
Okay. How did you feel about these coping mechanisms that she's using, even though we're successful? Is Kay stuck?
Real quick from 9K, you look awfully close.
Oh, girls, you ain't let me go on over there.
Let me see.
I see like an 8.9999. I'm like, wait a minute. EJ almost at 9K. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. Don't play on EJ time.
Okay, listen, because I didn't even pay attention. Let's go look. All right, let me find it. Come on, computer. 93, 8,993.
So you need 7 more subs, is what you saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
7 more subs. Head out over there immediately, y'all.
Drop the link.
Get EJ to her 9K, you guys. Get over there and support EJ in her journey and grow to hitting her 10K. It's real close. It's a couple of clicks away. Don't take you no time
to go over there. To EJ and hit that dub. That's what I said. That's why I be going to see, seeing everybody play. I said EJ almost at 9K. Y'all better go on over there and hit that sub for.
It is currently exactly 100 people in here. I need at least 7 of you or more. If you're feeling froggy, get over there and I dropped the link in the chat. Y'all go support EJ and hit that like button. Please.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. This is a team effort.
Team effort, exactly. I said, let me shout her out real quick.
Please do.
I really do hate that Black women never get the chance to be vulnerable. As much as people say they hate the strong, independent Black woman trope, when we are anything else but that, it's a problem.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be, you miss strong, independent, I don't need no man, and da-da-da-da-da. But the moment we look like we're a damsel in distress is, she weak, and why she acting like that, and why she got to do like that, and I can't believe she's like that, and da-da-da-da-da. As if we don't get the opportunity to experience mental health symptoms, because, of course, mental health and mental illness looks different in Black women. Yeah. So we're not the textbook case of what you would see in the DSM. When it don't look like what we think it should look like or what it's supposed to look like, it becomes a problem. And that I hate that she didn't get that moment to be vulnerable and to go through what she's going through. Because some people lose years off of their life due to grief. I've talked to people who said they literally lost years. Like they woke up one day and didn't know 7 years went by.
Yeah. Because
they were just out of it. And again, she's living this in the public eye and no one's giving her that sensitivity and no one's giving her that empathy because, she look like she happy and she partying. It don't look like she's suffering. She look like she fine to me. That's because Black women, y'all don't give us no room to not be fine. Y'all don't make it okay for us to be not okay. And I hate that she didn't see that. And I hate that there was no one in her corner to tell her, Megan, it's okay to not be okay. You can go sit down. You don't owe these people nothing.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate. You can't tell anybody how to grieve. Let people grieve in their own way on their own time. But if it looks improper to you, then it's like, ain't nothing wrong with her.
Right.
Lies. Thank you guys so much for getting EJ to her 9K. We definitely appreciate it. EJ, how do you feel about Megan and this drive the boat mentality and her self-medicating?
Man, I agree with everyone. I mean, at the end of the day, it always feels like as Black women, we always have to be so strong. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to be sensitive. I was just thinking about when we were talking about Married at First Sight yesterday, and we had and she was saying she wants to relax, she wants to be soft. That's the thing. It feels like we never are in a space where we can ever do that. And if we show any type of emotion, it gets one of two things. It gets like some it well from to me it always gets like the negative side of it, but it always comes from other Black women especially, and like the hardest to me. And then there's this thing where Black men for some reason can't seem to show that love and support that they should. Like it's like they're not taking up, it's like they're not showing up when they should show up. And I'm not saying all Black men, I'm just saying that they don't be doing what they supposed to do at all times. And I felt like a lot of people didn't show up for Meg in this moment, in her vulnerability. Just because she's drinking, that could mean so many different things. Sometimes I wish people would look inside of themselves and say, how would that make me feel if this just happened? Especially, and I get that sometimes people don't know the whole story. It's like looking at a doggone short and thinking that you know the whole entire interview when you only got one clip of it, and then you try to make a judgment on someone. I just wish people would stop being so judgmental and look for what the answer is. Look and say, maybe there's something deeper going on. We all knew that her mom had passed away. And if you know that that's happening, and then you know that she's younger, you know that there's something more with it. Why do we have to be so quick to judge all the time? Like that's the part that just really irked me about this, about everything about this, about Megan, is that when you go online and you look in the comments, it's heartbreaking. I hate going to look at comments sometimes. Yes, I am a person that will go to the comments, y'all. Yes, I like a good old extra sometimes. But when it comes to stuff like this right here, when I'm looking in the comments and I see people are going in, and I'm just like, how can you sit behind your computer and not have compassion for another person when you don't even know what it all is? Like that made no sense to me. But at the end of the day, I do like the fact that Megan still kept going. She kept performing. She kept pushing through. I just hope that at this point she's getting all the help that she needs, therapy and all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that she's just continuing to progress because, we love Meg.
Yeah, we do. Shout out comments, not no joke. Like everybody processes them differently. And Megan is on such a massive platform, I know Ashley down there, you got one time to try her in these little comments. I couldn't have no comments on a massive scale. Like everybody just processes stuff differently. Now we do have Kelsey Nicole, which I thought was interesting. I did not expect to see her here. But the fact that Megan, we don't touch on any, beef or indiscretions with Nicki Minaj. We left out, the 1501, the sad label deal, the slave contract that they had her in before she got with Roc Nation. We left out a lot of things, and we don't have a strong presence of, female friends, or this is who was always in my corner. This is my family, aside from Megan's cousin, who makes, a couple of brief appearances in the doc. We do get a lot of Kelsey Nicole here, which I thought was thoughtful on Meg's end, in that it was poignant that she put her in here in this light when she could have left her out, because we see her there as a real friend, a real support system in her corner, rooting for her, caping for her emotionally when her mother passed, because everybody was just really, really, really close in the beginning. And I felt like she genuinely loved Meg. EJ, what vibes did you get from Kelsey Nicole prior to us getting in the Tory Lanez situation? How did you feel her place was in Megan's life?
I felt like she was being genuine. Honestly, I felt like they were establishing a strong connection. I didn't get that hang on feeling from her. And that's only because we saw Kelsey before her mom passed away. We saw her there with her then. So I didn't get any of those vibes from her. I felt like they were really having this strong connection, and that she was trying to be there for her and trying to help, kind of fill this void that she knew was missing with her mom being gone, and she was just trying to be a friend. So I just didn't get any of those vibes. I kind of was like, that's good that she has a friend, somebody.
For me, it was like, how can we switch up and go from this to something else? It just feels like that position that she was holding, now a little short ninja was going to come in here and separate me from my friend.
That part.
Kay, how did you feel about Kelsey Nicole?
You know, not all friendships are healthy, and if it takes for this little leprechaun to come in and tear y'all apart, how strong were y'all really?
Yeah.
How strong were you really? And were you just her friend because you got the perks of being out here and out and about, and you had the burden, the spotlight, and handling that? And because I know you didn't like this micro mini pimp pick up a friendship. Either one of y'all. How strong was the friendship? Given the place that she was in, either to determine who was her friend,
Hey, what is going on with your
he
mic?
just wanted to feel good temporarily. Probably talk good game. What's going on?
Yeah,
Can y'all hear me
I'm gonna take
now?
I was like, robots unite. Oh, what in the world?
What was that? It kind of scared me a little bit. Kay, I'm gonna bring Kay back in. We're gonna try it again. Hold on. It's dark now. I think Kay's frozen.
Transformers. Boy,
It was giving robots in disguise, child. I'm gonna wait and bring Kay back in when she
The AI took over.
It did. Say one more thing about Kelsey. Ashley, watch your mouth about Kelsey before you get roboted out here.
I'm gonna talk about her because I ain't like that. I didn't get the bet. Okay, so here's the thing. I can only go based on the actions and what we saw post everything.
Yeah.
If you my bestie, my best friend, my sister, as they called each other, no D in the United States, no D on the 7 continents is gonna make me come between us, right? And for damn sure, I'm not going to testify for him or be on his side when I know he used the blicky on you. Like, there's no way. And it makes me question everything. No, I don't think Kelsey was ever her friend. I think Kelsey was there for whatever she could get. I think Megan was in a super vulnerable position, and I believe that Kelsey preyed on it. Now, could they have been friends before? Yeah, but I think she was definitely an opportunist, because how the hell did you even meet the little gremlin? Through Meg. Like, let's be serious. Even if Meg sat on it a couple times, it was probably listen, let me be quiet. But it was never that. Okay, y'all had probably shared D before. You knew. Listen, let's just call a thing a thing, and let's stop pretending. You know what I'm saying? Let's just stop pretending. It was never that deep that I'm going to let this man pow you, and then I'm going to be on his side during the trial. You got to be crazy as hell.
Okay, well, no, actually, we're going to get into those shots. I'm talking about, I feel like if Megan felt that way about Kelsey 100% up until this moment, she wouldn't have put her in this dock in this way. So at some point, she had to believe, and still believes to this day, prior to that incident, this was her sister, her friend, her everything.
She may have thought it, but was it true? Like, well, they say she's been friends since high school, right? So, I mean, like I said, there may have been a seed of a friendship at one time. People change, baby. Money change you. That money can change you. That proximity to fame can change you. I won't say that it was completely disingenuous the whole time, but based on her actions, how she showed out, like I said, ain't no D that good in the world. Even if she didn't even want to be friends with Meg anymore, after that, there's no way in my mind you was ever my sister. Ever. Unless people just built different. I don't know. If that's the case, I don't know. I ain't never met him.
EJ, did you ever listen to WAP? And was it some hoes in his house? Did you listen to WAP in his house? Did you like WAP? Were you in?
I loved WAP.
Were you in an uproar with everybody when they was talking about coochies on the song and it was just too much? Was WAP too much?
No, WAP was not too much, because I was here for the lady that did the remix on the TikTok when she was like macaroni in a pot. You know, that was like that the when she was doing like the country version of it. I don't know what it was. I did a whole TikTok to it. I was like, let's go. So this was during quarantine too. You know, yeah, just doing stuff.
Ashley, were you here for WAP? Were you singing WAP with your whole chest, or was it too much for you?
I I mean, you know, my delicate sensibilities. No, I'm just playing. We grew up on Trina and Lil Kim and and Foxy Brown. We not new to this. We true to this. I don't know why they made such a big commotion about it. I was like, we've heard worse, baby. My neck. My back, Kaya from Florida. Like, we've heard so much worse.
How many licks? I got an ass so big like the sun. Don't be acting like y'all want to slap it in my face. Hey, shove it down my throat.
Hey,
blood. I can make it smoke. I know how to. Okay, no, this is not that.
I'm just saying. I don't know why people was acting like, oh my gosh, they're clutching their pearls, baby. We done heard worse.
Okay.
Danced to worse. Probably did some other stuff to worse than that.
If you want it, you can get it. If you with it, I'm gonna get it. It's my shit, y'all. Kay, were you appalled at WAP? Were you singing WAP? Because you said you weren't like a fan. Was WAP above your age bracket? Okay, you ready? He came back. Be muted down there. There we go. No,
baby,
we
can't hear you.
Can't hear nothing. Kay said, damn it, I went out and came back in. Now it's raggedy. That's all right, because I'm gonna get this one to Ashley, her and her delicate sensibilities. Finish the lyrics, Ashley. If you can. If it don't hang, then he can't bang. He can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. Hold on, here we go here. Let me put Kay back in here because I feel like I heard her come back before I go into it. Kay, you back?
I'm here. Now I can hear y'all. I couldn't hear nobody.
There we go. Kay, were you singing WAP with your whole chest, or was it?
No. I didn't like the beat in this song.
Oh man, Kay.
It's very skeptical. I like like all two of her songs.
So you weren't listening to no Trina and no nothing back then.
Okay,
This is
see, that's different. That's different. I was like listening to some Trina and Lil Kim.
This is like this where I can't disappear in my mouth. This is the same thing.
Part of the song is you're gonna have to give it to me in the beat. Give it to me in iambic pentameter.
All right. If it don't hang, then he can't bang. He can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he F me and X blank, when I ride the D, I'ma blank my name. Finish lyrics.
I'ma spell my name. Okay, when I ride the D, I'ma spell my name. If he F me and he asks me,
what's my name?
Oh, what's my name? When I ride that D, I'ma spell my name.
It's
right?
not actually what's my name. If it don't hang, then he can't bang. He can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he F me and asks blank.
Who is it?
Whose is it? Yeah, whose is it? Something like that. I knew it had to do with his name.
If this don't sound like an old lady's Jeopardy, whose is it for 200 hours? Whose is it? Whose is it? Is it whose is it? Yes. If he don't hang, then he can't bang. He can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he me and ask whose is it, when I write, I'm gonna spell my name.
Okay. You could have said gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. I would have got that part. I would have.
We don't get
that part. I would have got.
We don't get to be choosy here. Shout out to the 117 people here. Make sure that you are hitting the like button on everybody's platform. Make sure that you are subscribed to every single lady here. It's a lot of y'all in here this morning, this afternoon, and we would love to get your love and your support and all that, those other good things. And let us know what you guys are thinking about the doc. We are reading the chat as we are going along. Let me show y'all some love for it being 100 plus of y'all, and we are definitely gonna be right back.
Yeah, that's my dog, he gon' sit down and listen. Call him a trick and he don't get a hold up. Bitch, I'm a star, got niggas wishing. He say he hungry, this the kitchen. Yeah, that's my dog, he gon' sit down and listen. Call him a trick and he don't get offended. He know he giving his money to Megan. He know it's very expensive to date me. Told him go put my name on that account because when I need money, I ain't tryna hold up. He know he giving his money to Megan. He know it's very expensive to date me. Told him go put my name on that account because when I need money, I ain't tryna wait. I can be with, no, oh, you can't touch
Y'all better say Megan look fine. And name a time Megan wasn't fine. The way I just feel like Megan looks like Pam Grier reincarnated little sister. Absolutely love Megan down. Megan is so fine. Like Megan big as hell and fine. Like how she be that tall? How do those measurements even work out in that way? But we get into the shots fired. We get into the shots fired here where we can really get into Miss Kelsey because Kelsey said, my man, my man, my man. Kelsey said, not my man, not my Tory. And I was like, regardless of what occurred, because I know we, like Megan said, everybody was tapping into the salacious side of this. Oh, Megan's a hoe, Megan's this. I love that Megan has autonomy over her sexuality. And yeah, if I did it, like, I like sex. I like, nigga, like, what are we saying? Like, what are we saying here? That's very much so me. And regardless of what was occurring here, she was shot. She was a victim. She was in the street. She was bleeding. Her life was in jeopardy because that bullet happened to hit her foot and it could have hit her anywhere else. And the fact that we are subtracting from this moment and we are just focusing on, well, she shouldn't have been sleeping like that's her friend. You don't do your friends like that. When I'm very much so a girl code kind of girl. Like, child, if you looked at that man wrong, and I'm not too girl code because you ain't finna be, oh my God, girl, he was my boyfriend in 5th grade. You can't talk to him. Girl, if you shut up. I don't want to hear nothing about your middle school romance. Girl, we 30s. We in our 30s. Stop. But I can understand why Kelsey would feel some type of way because maybe she thought Tory, for whatever reason, was her man. And I was just like, baby, he ain't nobody's prize. I think Tory is for everybody. And the way that I feel like Megan's mentality goes, it's like just as a man would treat a female, oh, like, that's a bust down, that's a jump off, that's a pass around. That's what Tory was. This is somebody who I'm getting it in with. You know, it's a toxic, a drinking kind of night. And clearly Kelsey thought it was more than that. Actually, I'm going to come to you because I feel like you have the most to say. Do you feel like the public in that Megan owed, a responsibility to Kelsey for, sleeping with Tory behind her back or whatever this was, and that Kelsey had every right not to step in or say anything and choose Tory's side because Megan shouldn't have did her like that?
Hell no. One has nothing to do with the other thing, right? And let's just assume he wasn't already community peen, which we know he was. I'm sure that they've shared a seat more than once. I know. Listen. You're not going to make me believe. You're not going to make me believe they wasn't busting it open, busting it down, and sharing D here and there, right? And like I said, can you claim something that's for the streets and for the property? His peen was community. It was for everybody. You get a turn. You get a turn. You get a turn. Everybody gets a turn. Like, no. And I think people like they muddied the waters so much so. Like I'm with my good sis. Nobody has any business asking me what happened about a sexual relationship with him. That has nothing to do with him pow pow pew pew pewing me. Like that's unheard of to me. Now on the stand, when you're under oath and there's perjury and things like that, we got to tell the truth. But as far as like the court of public opinion taking that and running with it and somehow making it like justified that Kelsey would take his side when she knew a literal crime had taken place, no, they've completely convoluted the whole thing. They've literally missed the plot here because this is about his crime against Megan. This ain't got nothing to do with sitting on it or not sitting on it. Like I said before, if Kelsey at this moment wanted to walk away and say, Meg, you're not my friend anymore, I'm never going to do this, then just walk away. But for her to be walking into the courthouse with this little munchkin and sitting on his side the whole time, knowing what he did to your once friend. Like I said, that's how I know she was never her friend. You weren't. There's no amount of D in the world. Now, like I said, I would cut off a friendship. Absolutely. We don't have to be in the same world anymore, but I would never. This was like the ultimate betrayal to me.
Girl, the fact it shows just how much disrespect he had. The fact that you would pull a gun on a woman.
Period.
Regardless if we were drunk or because we do hear his apology and everything, we hear a whole lot, but he pulled a gun on her. Like, and we are in here riding, and he's on the phone with Kelsey. Yeah, I'm sorry. Figure out, make sure you get me out of this situation. And I was like, what is going on here? And she's coming like, well, I talked to Tory. Girl, who gives a damn? And the fact that everybody just throws away the fact that, which I hated, she didn't even press any charges on this man. this was the state pressing charges against Tory Lanez because he had so many priors and probation and things to this incident ever happening. It's like, yeah, you're not going to get away scot-free with this one or get put back on probation. We're going to take you to court. And she had to, follow due process. But the fact that she still wanted to protect him, I was like, girl, please shoot me if you want to. Shoot me if you want to. EJ, how did you feel about this?
Girl, I had so many feelings about this part right here because I have always been like, I didn't even have to follow the story closely when it was happening to know that there were 4 people. One person got shot. That leaves 3 people. Like little Timmy had 2 apples, y'all.
If Johnny had 2 apples.
Girl, I'm like, come on now. Let's just be for real. So the fact that Kelsey had the audacity to stand up for this man when this very well could have been you, and it could have been the opposite way. This could have been you, and when you have wanted your sister, whether or not y'all were in a tiff, whatever you want to call it, I'm gonna stand up for you regardless. I don't have to be friends with you to do what's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you pulled out a blicky on her, what's to say you ain't gonna pull out a blicky on me at some later point? Like, no. And we all know that Tory, look at this picture over here. Look at what Tory doing. Like, come on. Like, I don't see no pictures of him with Kelsey like that. I don't know. They might exist out there, but I ain't never seen none like that. I have never seen where, and I follow some blogs, every now and again, but I ain't never seen where Tory was out here claiming Kelsey like that. And word on the street was that she had a man too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you had all of this stuff going on, allegedly, supposedly, if you had all of this stuff going on, why are we claiming Tory so much when we know that this man was for the streets? When we know that that's exactly what it was. And I agree with you, Ashley. I wholeheartedly believe that they did those things together sometimes, like that they shared a little D every now and again, and that it was what it was. And that's no judgment. That's just, it is what it is. I ain't got no problems with it if that's what y'all do. But at the end of the day, Kelsey was foul for this. She absolutely 100% needs to burn in hell somewhere. I'm sorry, y'all. She do. She do. Because why you knowing that this girl do not have nobody, like Meg has nobody. Everybody that was in her corner is gone. And you were supposed to be her friend, but you gonna let the whole world turn against her and not even gonna stand up for her. Even if I got up there and said, I don't like this B right now, but that is not what happened. This ninja did do this.
Period.
And that's all you had to say. You ain't got to love me. Just tell the truth. Don't have me out here looking crazy.
The fact that a lot of stuff, which, muddied the case even more, came back inconclusive as far as like whose prints or no prints or whatever being on the gun and everything. And when we really needed Kelsey's confirmation of this is what happened, she's like, yeah, I don't, I plead the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 5. I was like, wow, okay. Like, we just really not gonna say anything. That's interesting. It just made it even worse. And then people out here, well, she probably free Tory because Kelsey probably shot her. I was like, I don't know. Kay, how did you feel about Kelsey at this point?
I need women to have more camaraderie with their fellow sister. And stop capping for these raggedy Negroes, especially if he ain't even claimed you enough for all of that. Stay away from these micro mini pimps that don't care. This man was for the streets and you knew it. He was dotting and bopping and you knew it. Okay, you let this little gremlin come between you and the friendship, and one that he didn't even care nothing about you. Because what kind of self-respecting man pulls a gun out on a Black woman in a public space if he didn't think that he could get away with it?
And pull the trigger.
Exactly. That he felt so bold enough that he could go and do and if him and his raggedy ass over here capping for him, he ain't getting and his raggedy dad out here in these streets. He's like he's innocent.
They said he everybody, a lot of the siders feel like he gave Kelsey a little payout for her silence, like, which would say a whole lot even more about her character. There just was never any friendship. I just was questioning.
All money ain't good money. He didn't even have money like that anyway. Because if he had money like that, he wouldn't be sitting behind bars like he is now. He would have been able to, he would have had a better hairline than he have right now if he had money.
$1 million just to not say nothing. Let this go away. She was like, She really thought this little man was her friend. I was like, oh baby, you really ain't got no friends. You thought Tory Lanez was your friend.
When the last time y'all seen a leprechaun be somebody's friend?
Okay.
Write it down. Show me.
In the hood, Kay. In the hood, you know, going 4.5. He's like friend there. As long as you had a little weed, he was your friend. You weren't trying to take his shillings. He was your friend. Yeah, this was. This is like. I just wanted to know where Megan Head's space is about Kelsey at this moment, because I was like, I was like, baby, I don't think she was ever your friend. She couldn't have been, because
not if you pick the male patriarchy system over your fellow sister. Y'all keep looking like these men is gonna give you something and give you the upper hand in something, and you're willing to throw your sister under the bus for a raggedy Negro, and at the end of the day, he ain't nobody's except for Big Sal that's in the pen next to him.
Okay.
I got a question though, real quick, in the comments, because this is stuff I've never heard, and I'm curious as to what they're saying. Oh no, that's Mo. Says, I've never seen a man take the fall and go to jail for someone he's just talking to. So is she implying that Kelsey is the one who pew-pewed Meg?
A lot of people think that. A lot of people think that in the moment, Tory didn't think that, as you can see how he was going, he was skipping the court, girl, because he just knew that, like, I ain't going to jail, like, because he's gotten off for other, multiple charges so many other times before. So everybody just kind of feels like, because, Megan's back was turned, and like Kelsey shot, and he's like, well, a lot of this is my fault. I was, effing on two friends. This escalated at the function. Let me take this on, for Kelsey, because she has a life. Maybe at some point in the trial, there was a baby on the way. And I was like, yeah, let me take this charge because I'm going to get off. And I'm so sorry that this occurred. Let me take this for both you and Meg. I ain't going to do no time. And a lot of people do cold-heartedly believe that Kelsey shot Megan. And he's covering for her, which he regrets now because he didn't get off like he thought he would.
He got to be deaf, dumb, blind, and slow.
That part.
If that's really what happened, because you had far more to lose than she did.
Yeah. We all knew that. That's why we were like, what?
That makes no sense. Then why was he apologizing in the conversations?
Well, he says
in the voicemails.
He says that he was apologizing for just the incident, for sleeping with the both of them, for it going up in this way, and just the escalation of it all. But he wasn't apologizing for shooting her.
Okay. She clarified. She says, no, she's saying men don't take the fall. He would have been quick to snitch. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There ain't no way in my mind. They can't make me believe it. That he just took 15 years or how many ever years he got for something he didn't do.
Not no 10 years. Not no 10 years. I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't taking 10 years for nobody. Hell no.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Why did Kelsey need immunity to testify? Yeah, this case was so sloppy. From that evidence being, insufficient, not coming up all on all cylinders, or his handprints wasn't anywhere on anything as far as, if he would have shot that gun. And Kelsey, she chose immunity, and she didn't really have, but it's like, why? Everything was just really murky. And I can't speak to the trial, but I did, when it happened, I was like, damn, he got 10 years. I wasn't never expecting him to get a decade. But I didn't know how far his charges went, prior to this incident. So I feel like it was a collection of everything. But with everything coming up a little inconclusive as to who did what and everybody's story being real janky, I was like, wow, he got 10 years. All right.
And they never found the other security guard, the fourth. They never found this man.
No, it was. Thank you for the super chat. It was very dusty. It was a dusty. I'm not going, even side and be like he deserved. Like, no, it was very questionable as far as
true criminals know how to wipe their prints from a weapon. Y'all know he got charges already. He didn't want his prints to be found on that. That's why he was doing all that, trying to pay people off and tell people I'm sorry. And I got people in the streets. I got people in Canada that's gonna come after you. He tried to erase what he did. Of course, and he had plenty of time.
In the trial? I wasn't on it like that.
Me either.
I wasn't. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be something that grew as much as it was. And I was like, oh my God. And then you would blink and time would go by, like the trial is still happening. Like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden he was, in jail. But I didn't follow it enough to know a lot of the details beyond it just being a little murky. And I did pay attention. I was like, what she need immunity for? For what? Why Child, we ain't gonna never know now. Even to this day, he's still, professing his innocence, and I don't think it's ever gonna be a year where Tory don't try to get out of that jail. But okay, but free Tory Lanez, because baby, it's everybody. It's everybody versus Megan. Like, this is mostly what I saw when it came to the trial. The media, mostly men, because it was women too, especially Black women, like siding like immediately with Tory, like disrespecting Megan, talking down on her name, saying that she should. I mean, we saw it a lot in the doc, but these were things that I saw up close and personal. And I was like, what the hell? What is going on here? I just felt like it was a lot. But EJ, I want to know, why do you feel like immediately all the men, like main forces in the industry, whether it was, from an artist perspective or a media perspective or, a podcast perspective at this point, because who don't have one of those, immediately sided with Tory and like tried to destroy Megan's character?
Because I feel like that's what people go to. Like, for whatever reason, it's always been a let's protect the Black man situation. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the mentality of it. And they immediately wanted to be let's protect him, because there's no way that he did this to this. That just couldn't happen. Like, they didn't want to think or believe that this really happened. And to be fair, I know that these people are not that dumb. I know that they know that 2 + 2 is 4, and that it's only so many people that could have done it, and Megan didn't do it to a damn self. Okay, so that eliminates her automatically, right? So who else could it have been besides in this little group of friends? And so, but then we're quick to we want to throw Kelsey under the bus too, right? Because it definitely wasn't him, so it had to be Kelsey. But do you think this man would take 10 years for Kelsey? No, come on now. Like,
he wasn't planning on it, but he did.
Like, I know they're not this crazy. Exactly. I know they're not this crazy, but they were coming in hard and rough on her. Like, I was just like, this was really a sad time just in media, just as being a Black person, period, because a Black woman, period, because I was like, come on now, we really not finna try to, nobody's gonna protect Meg, like nobody, like not one of you. Like, I expect old Dusty, what's his name, to do some dumb shit like that, Joe Budden, but I really just didn't see all this flooding of all these other people doing the same exact thing. But when I saw that Black women were doing it, I said, I can't believe y'all really. And you always say, everybody's always quick, believe women. Well, why aren't we believing Meg? Like, why aren't we believing what is being said? Why aren't we believing what's in our face? Why are we, instead of just saying, I don't know, I'll wait till all the facts come out, because that's the type of person I am. I'll be like, I don't know. I'll just wait till the facts come out. Let me just see what happened, right? But why weren't we doing that instead of going straight to tearing down her character, assassinating her character over and over again, going in on her sexuality? That has nothing to do with anything. And I love me some Gayle King, and I know she was just doing her job, but that just didn't have nothing to do with nothing. Like, that was just, it just didn't need to happen. Like, I didn't like that. I just didn't like that.
I just didn't get he would never, that's not the kind of man. Tory, everybody was talking like they knew him personally. And for the people who did, I'm like, Tory Lanez, his bestie is the baby. Like, and we know him. Boy, the baby got whole bodies on him. This man, this person, killed somebody dead in a Walmart and is out here scot-free. Knocking people, slapping people in the face, literally slapping hoes who touched her wrong, who wanted an autograph. That's the type of time. Well, I think Tory, he slapped somebody. I think it was August Alsina or Chris.
August Alsina. It was August Alsina.
He's violent. So for all of that he would never. He's not that kind of. Y'all don't know these damn people. Ashley, why would everybody like this?
Special. And I think it's like they're saying in the comments, I mean, the truth doesn't always bring the attention, but hopping on a bandwagon definitely will in the height of a trial with these popular figures. First of all, Joe Budden hasn't been able to be trusted since damn Love and Hip Hop, right? We're not going to do that. He is not anybody can trust. Listen, as far as Drake, he not like us. We already know that. Kendrick let us know, right? And then the baby, he got multiple bodies, like multiple, and treat his baby mama funny. Anyway, I can't respect any man who doesn't respect women. And these people, all of them, have shown themselves not to be respectful of women. But on the other side of that,
who was y'all, girl? Who was this? I'm a lady. Who No, I'm
Who?
talking this one over here.
Oh, hold on, go ahead, because we got time.
I want to know. I want to know who's y'all, because baby,
Y'all like these kind of dudes. Who?
No, ma'am.
We don't like that.
No, ma'am, no, sir. I don't know who that was.
Maybe they did, not me. We
Mm-mm.
grown.
Very grown. But no, as far as the women, like EJ was kind of speaking to, that's the sickening part. I don't expect much from these jokers on the screen, but from a woman who has lived as a woman their whole life to automatically side with a man is wild work to me. And I think they call them the pick-me's, right? I think that's what they call them. But I hate that. And to this day, the comment sections are wild against Megan. Like, just, man, why are y'all so angry? It gives bitter, it gives mad, it gives a little bit jealous. And I don't like that. And as far as Gail, she was raggedy and she was wrong. That didn't have nothing to do with anything. Why was that your business? She didn't have to tell you the truth. She didn't have to. She actually didn't even have to respond to that question if she didn't want to. It was none of her business, and it didn't have anything to do with whether or not that man pew-pewed her.
Exactly. She's just looking for a sensationalized story. That's what they do.
Kay, why were they on her head top like this?
When I say these, and I mean these media relationship specialists with no type of degrees or knowledge about how about humanity, civics, and social groups work.
Oh, Bab. She said, I don't expect much from That's so sad. And I know this to be true, but you just project who you are onto other women, and it's just like, how could you not listen to or have sympathy for another woman, especially a Black woman? Like, it got a little ridiculous. Like, it was very heavy handed with how they came at her, and I had never seen. I'm just sorry, I was never a part of the inner circle who'd be like, "Hey, throwing at Tory Lanez." Like, who's all these Tory Lanez fans? I just maybe I'm just out of the thing, but I'm an avid, rap, hip hop, especially even young and old. It was I never got that vibe from, Tory Lanez to where it would be like just epic caping for this man. So when it happened, I was like, since when all of y'all, he triple platinum or something somewhere? Because he got a lot of fans. He got a whole lot of fans.
He do, and I don't know where they came from. I was like, "What in the world is
going on?" I'm supporting you, man. You one of my favorite R&B artists. Like, Diddy, please. Yeah, the Diddies, the Joe Buttons, the Dre hide his kid from the world and his world from the kid. All of these naysayers here, the baby like rallying around, but yeah, the women that hurts. Yeah, I did not have sexual relations with that man. That's what Megan said. Because, baby, what we're not gonna do is play on Megan's top. I don't care what man, woman, whatever in this chat, in this world, who's claiming every single body they ever laid down with. Girl, who? You a lie. You
ninjas don't even do it.
Child, you a bold black ass lie. Because who's doing that? If this incident occurred. Of course, she told the truth when she had to, but I understood why she felt like she wanted to lie. Like, first of all, you're a leprechaun, and it was what it was in the moment. But I don't even think it was that. I don't think it was a physical thing because, as Megan said, like, she started to feel insufficient about her own sexuality and how she projects herself because of what people were laying on to her about her being, sexually fluid and I'm going to get it in and, ninjas is hoes. I'm going to have them this way, that way. Because what? Like, what is it? It's just sex. But other people are, using it to typecast her as just a hoe and she doesn't deserve any grace. But I don't know a mother trucker, I can't say what I want to say, under the sun, who don't have a take back or three. Y'all lie. You a lie. It's somebody will put a gun to you. I ain't never like, girl, you wouldn't catch me with that because you know better now. You know better, so you did better. But yeah, ain't nobody claiming every goddamn body. And as far as Gail asking this question, I wasn't mad at Gail. Gail is the Gail is, that ambulance chaser. She's looking for that story. Naturally so. If you're, in media, this national platform, somebody was going to ask her that. So I wasn't surprised. You would want her not to ask that and just focus on the facts and her actually being shot because that's what she was there for. But she was going to ask it because she's looking for the story. Ashley?
All right. Gail is too advanced in age to be behaving this way, in my opinion, because I feel like their whole platform, she and the big O, right? Oh, we support Black women, especially because we are Black women. And we got here and we did this and we've arrived and we are so far above of all of this. And so for me, it's different. I feel like a young, hungry reporter is in a completely different position than Gayle King is. Yeah. Gayle has arrived. She didn't need to do this. So the fact that she took this on, and in my mind, played right into the patriarchy as far as a woman's role, what she can do with her body, the image that was going to be put out there.
How old Gayle is.
But listen, y'all talk about everything else. Y'all talking to trees and doing all that stuff, Gayle. Like, I feel like, moment, this was an opportunity to uplift a young Black woman. I don't care how you personally feel about how she decides to live her life. That's between her and her God, and you and your God. I don't like seeing it, especially from the older community to the younger. I think there's something you could say behind the scenes to Meg. I think there's a conversation that you could have there, but I think she played into what society wanted to see, and that was the poetization of Meg. Like, girl, leave her alone. I don't respect it. And I would say, like, oh, if she was this young, hungry, just trying to get her spot, Gayle don't need to do that little job. Gayle can pick and choose what interviews she does.
Gayle got big Oprah. She got big O in her corner. You know, her friend.
I don't like that.
She got her friend. You know, that auntie, that strong auntie that's been living with her roommate all your life. But I didn't expect anything less from Gayle. Gayle is very, very a woman of her time, very male-minded, male-centered. Like, yeah, I'm gonna ask this question. And with Megan and her team, I was like, where's your team, Meg? Because, of course, with this interview, there was a way to present, like, you can't ask me this. I think she went in there with expectations of Gayle just not to ask her that. And it was like, yeah, you heard what I said. Did you sleep with him? Did you have sexual relations with Tory Lanez? Then she doubled down, like, are you gonna? And it was just like, oh. And Meg was like, what? Huh?
What was the question? What does it mean?
What did you say? Yes. EJ, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, Gayle is a journalist. We know that. And, you know, they looking for the next story. They looking for the next big thing. They knew when they got this interview that this was what they were going to ask after looking at a ton of doggone TV, y'all. And I've been looking at a few of these where I don't know if y'all seen the one with the Queen. I learned right then from looking at that show that, because this was a real thing about the Queen and stuff, that they will ask you, they have this back thing where they have little huddles and stuff about what they're going to try to sneak in, especially when they do not have a certain thing that says, don't ask this, don't ask that, don't do this. Yeah. And I think that they did give her the benefit of the doubt. Why would she ask me about this when it has nothing to do with this? But I knew that because of who Meg Thee Stallion is and what she projects and how they foresee it, you know what I'm saying? Because she is sexually liberating and free. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of people that need to be sexually liberated and free, if you ask me. But because of this, they took a moment and another moment to be stereotypical and ask a question that had nothing to do with it, just because you think that, oh, because of this, I can ask this. And now you're navigating the story even further into a place that it didn't need to be. Like, that has nothing to do with one or the other. Do you think me effing this man has anything to do with the fact that he pulled out a gun and F my foot up? Come on now. Like, let's get it right, people. Like, she had a moment and she took the wrong route, if you ask me, because as a Black woman, even though you are a journalist, and even though you're looking for that next big story, I feel like as the person that you've already made your name. So yes, you could have like bowed out gracefully and not asked that question and said, no, we're not going to do that to her. You had the clout to do that, but you didn't want to do that because you wanted the story. That's what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think at this point, if you were following the case, you kind of knew the gist of it, but we just didn't care. I was like, she got shot. I didn't care about it, but you know, hey.
Period.
Hey, you good to go down there?
I should be. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Go back to the last slide because I don't think y'all heard me on that one.
There you go.
I had to talk about them and these raggedy people up here. Most of these radio personality podcast relationship supposed specialists with no kind of education or knowledge or training to have an opinion on relationships, want to take their issues that they have with black women out on the public, but it's really nothing but self-hatred. They hate themselves and they hate their own mama. They hate their own mama because their daddy wasn't in their life. They hate their own mama because they had to be raised by their grandma and probably wouldn't even live with their own mama until they was a teenager in high school. And so instead of taking that self-hatred out that you have for your mama and going and confronting her, but y'all say, but in the black community, we can't talk bad about our moms. They go out and they project it on to all the other black women when the real problem is with their mama, and they just mad because they grew up in a single parent household, and now it's every other black woman's fault. Yeah. That's how I feel about that. Ain't nothing but self-hatred. Yeah. And Gail is one of those people who also would like to seek white approval, because she got up here and instead of using this as an opportunity to have some camaraderie with a fellow black woman, her fellow sister, she took this as a moment to say, I'm going to get up here and seek white approval by tearing down another black woman, because that's what everybody else is doing. And if I do it too, it'll be kudos to me. There's too much white approval seeking and playing into male patriarchy. Because if she didn't do any of that, she could have seen at this moment that this is a person who was shot and this is a person still grieving for her mother. But again, black women we're not allowed to be the damsel in distress. We're not allowed to be soft. We're expected to just sit here and take it and to crumble under the world, because apparently we strong enough that we got it. She should be able to handle it, because there's no way that they would have let a white woman sit up there who was shot in the foot and grieved it in the same manner that they did with Meg.
Yeah, I just hated it. It just felt like if you're not the perfect victim, we can't have sympathy for you in any type of way, which is absolutely trash. Mm-hmm. And Kay said no bunny hopping in the snow for anybody.
Listen, Mrs. Umar strikes again. She don't.
No bunny hopping in the snow. Okay. Oh Lord, I love Kay. Kay said I'm gonna go on back. But I want you to stop here and get these things, because I know throughout the doc, I was just waiting. I was waiting for somebody to just love on her, or I was waiting for like the camaraderie too. I wanted to see, I don't know if it was just present and it wasn't in the doc, but there was nothing. I was like, this is sad as hell. This is so sad, because we know all of her immediate family, especially that she was closest to, they're all passed. And she's just coping, she's going to keep going, because that's, she trained to go, the constant performer. And I put constant performer because I feel like she's very performative, even in, everyday life, because that's just who she's been taught to be, and just endure and keep going. Because, I'm only going to have, I just got this moment. I want to seize it. And it's just, she's applied that to everything in her life. But we have a fear of failure. When she was talking about how severe her anxiety was and she couldn't trust anybody, I don't know if anybody's means me any good, who's here for real. Somebody could just hurt me right now. This is somebody I thought cared about me, and he shot me and didn't give two damns about it, and even kind of played on my top in the public. But she has this really tough exterior. She's a pariah in the public to whoever. And I just felt like in this whole doc, there was nothing. There was, there were worker bees. There was a lot of, maybe hairstylists, the fashion folks, Child Lorianne Gibson, Boom Cat, who was about to catch a backhand, because girl, if I said I need a break, Miss Boom Cat, this is not making a band, Lorianne, and that was long ago. If I need a break, let me have that break. But it just felt like, publicist, and I was like, there's nobody there. That really broke my heart for her, because if she doesn't, advocate for herself, there's nobody around her who's going to advocate. And if you're working, that money's coming in, we're getting these endorsements, you're on tour, you're this, that, and the third. That's all we care about, unless you physically say, which she's not, because she's the constant performer and seizing this opportunity and getting the bag and being the stallion. But nobody's in her corner to say, you know what, you should take a break. You should step away. Even when she said, like, I was just looking online, I just wanted one person to say something good about me. I was like, and she was like, everybody hates me. I was like, oh, hell. Girl, where your people stay? Ashley?
Man. This was another moment. And yeah, Lorianne can go kick damn rocks. I'm sick of seeing her. It's been 20, 30 years. We've been watching Lorianne Gibson traumatized. And like when she tried to snatch Meg's phone and Meg looked at her like, girl, I will I
Look at here, old
will.
Miss Boom Cat.
Don't do that because don't play with me either. And I was like, yeah, get her because Lorian needs to be stopped at this point. But all of this, it was super sad. And the toll, I'm just grateful that she was so open and vulnerable about this. And she eventually did say, no, I need to get away. Like, I need to go see somebody. I need to go somewhere. And she was like, I had therapy every day. I had therapy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, whatever it takes. I'm glad she took that time. So I pray that there is someone now that's in her corner, but it feels almost like she's created a team that's going to push her to work like this. Like I want to be booked. I want to be booked and busy. Like I like that because then I don't have to focus in on everything. But you're right when she said, I'm scared at every show because I don't know what's going to happen. Like that is just, there's so many things. And like I said, I'm just glad that she took a moment, like she took a beat and went and got help for herself because nobody else was going to do it for her. And I hate to think what we could have woken up to one day on the news.
Yeah.
After all of that, because this is how a lot of women, a lot of Black women go. They go until enough is too much. They never reach out for help. And then the worst happens. And everybody's like, well, I didn't know. I didn't even know she was sad. I didn't know she was feeling like this. She always had a smile on. She was always performing. She was always booked and busy. But yeah, it was heartbreaking. I hope the little cousin is in her corner, but she's not around that cousin enough. No. She's always on the go. And is it really true support if you're paying them to be there? I don't know.
No, a lot of these people are paid to be there. Like when she said, like, oh, it's been years since I seen like a Christmas tree or Christmas. I was like, but that's the flating mentality of media performers, rock stars. Like once you're out of the limelight and you're not active, especially in this realm of social media, then you take the risk of fading away. And I think she wants to not do that, so she's not taking any breaks. Kay, diagnose her, Kay.
It's at this point, she has to be able to sit back and say, I'm going to have to take the reins on this because the people around me are not going to be there. Because she is definitely suffering from grief. She's suffering from anxiety. And being that she had to sit there and be the one to pull the plug on her own mother, that's PTSD. And people aren't giving her the space to just process this because they want her to just keep going and going and going. I would encourage anyone, if you have anyone in your life right now who is that person that just keeps going, that don't sit down, that seems strong, the one who's smiling, please check on them. One of my close sorors it's kind of in a situation with Meg. She literally lost everybody in her family, her mom, her dad, and her only sibling, and it's just her. And I have to make sure that I check on her when I don't hear on her for a while, because I know she will go in a shell and we won't hear from her. Check on these people. I don't care if you see them posted a picture on Facebook and they smiling. You can don't even post nothing on Facebook. Send them a text message or a message and say, I just wanted to check in on you, see how you doing, just so they know that somebody actually cares about them. Other than the fact then to tell them they're pretty and to tell them good job, keep going, you're strong. Don't nobody want to hear they strong all the time. I don't want to hear that. Don't call me no strong, independent Black woman. Don't ever say that to me. I didn't ask for that life. Okay, I want to sit down. Exactly. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Give me a compliment on something else. Don't ever call me a strong Black woman in your life.
Yeah, I don't want that. Give it to somebody else. I don't want it.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't do it. EJ.
Girl. And see, this is exactly why I was crying. Now you understand. Like, I was just sad for Megan because she just don't laugh. You're not funny. I was sad for Megan because at the end of the day, she don't have anybody, and it's a sad situation when you can't look to you don't have anyone close that you can just reach out to and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, or just have a conversation that don't have nothing to do with anything else. Just have a conversation that just puts you outside out of the realm of all the internet stuff, because I'm sorry, but the internet is evil. Yes, it can be used for some good things, but the internet is a horrible place sometimes. And right now that's where she kind of lives at. I mean, I can't imagine waking up and going to the internet and seeing all of these things about me, people judging me, people saying negative things about me, and they don't even know me, they don't even have a full story, but yet they have the audacity to say all these things. And for someone who is sensitive like myself, that can really be taxing on you. That can cause anxiety, that can cause all of the things, you know. So I'm just glad that she is in therapy, and I just hope that she continues to do that. And hopefully she'll find her tribe of people that's really going to be her tribe. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody really need one when it's all said and done. And it doesn't always have to be your your biological blood family. You can find your tribe outside of that. And I understand that navigating that for her, because of who she is now, it could be difficult, but I really do pray and hope that that is something that she does find, because everybody needs one.
Absolutely. Me too. Me ditto. Thank you so much, Darpalina, for the $2 super chat. She said, "Preach, preacher." She said, nah. Thank you so much, Darpalina. We definitely appreciate you so much. Oh man. Yeah, and I haven't went to Kay. It's time for Kay to get a question, because why not?
Oh,
you can't be talking about your own no, and you got multiple choice here.
Okay, I can do multiple choice.
How many Grammys does Megan have?
I only seen her win one, so I'm gonna go with A. Now she might have more than that. I ain't seen but one.
You said one. Is that your final answer, Kay?
My final answer.
In the chat, what y'all got in the chat? How many Grammys do you think or know that Megan Thee Stallion has? Ashley, what answer did you have?
Not one, because she holding two right here, Kay. I'm gonna go with D. I'm gonna go with D for 4.
I can't.
She holding two.
I thought that butterfly was part of her dress.
No,
At least.
I put the butterflies there to cover the Grammy.
I thought that was part of her dress.
EJ, what number do you have?
Set up.
You muted, EJ?
My bad. I was just really talking to. I'm not sure exactly how many she has, but I definitely know that it is more than one. Shout out to Kay. I'm gonna go with D as well. I'm gonna go with 4, because I know she had got that one with B, and then I know she's gotten another one for sure, but I don't know it. I don't know about 3 or 4. Like, I don't know the exact song. So let's just go with 4, because I feel like she deserves 4.
Well, the answer is C. Even in this
Okay, I was gonna
photo, she is holding all of her Grammys. She has 3 Grammys.
Well, I knew it was more than one, because she got both hands full.
I should say what she's holding. One in her hands, Kay. I thought this butterfly was a part of her dress. Oh Lord! But as you guys were stating, we do get into those Grammys. Her still continuing on, through adversity and putting out Traumazine, which was a blur to her, because she was like, I was barely there, and her retreating because she is being trolled. Like, I forgot all about him, coming out on stage during Rolling Loud and walking past her. Like, what kind of emotional manipulation is that? Or him texting her like, you look real hurt. Like, what? Are you crazy? And her changing her number, getting a restraining order. Like, you walked past me in a mascot, the baby suit at Rolling Loud, and popped out on stage like F me, and you shot me? Yeah, I will kill you. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't remember this happening. Did any y'all? We don't got to stay here. But did anybody remember this?
No, girl. I don't know. I definitely don't watch none of them. No.
What? I didn't know this. Like, this was crazy. This was pretty much her final straw, and even her just really wanting to push forward with the prosecution, because she was like, "Oh, now you're playing in my face." Like, they go back and forth online about who was playing with who, and I didn't say nothing until she said something, and then her vice versa with Tori, and I'm just defending myself against this person, and people trying to create their own narratives about this shooting. But yeah, walking past me and calling my phone and texting and saying like, "Yeah, like, stay up, you look hurt." Like, what? Boy, I will rub that Mr. Clean. I will Mr. Clean the top of your Beijing head. Don't say that to me. Don't say that to me. But she does, even in the way that she presents She's like, oh, y'all gonna think it's stupid. I went to a retreat or wellness. Like, oh, I was like, oh, somebody do something. Somebody do something. They weren't even active enough for me. That's why I was like, please surround her. Somebody surround her in love and purpose and meaning her something good. Because when she was performing on SNL, they was like, is she crying? Oh yeah, I think she's crying. I was like, no. I was like, whatever it is, it's not good. But Megan is a crier, and the narrative around Megan, even now with this doc currently be out, here she goes looking for sympathy again. Here she goes with these sympathy tears, and it's never a cry for help with Meg. It's a plea. This is a ploy for, public deception. Have one thing be in her favor as the suffering Black woman, because when we see her on camera, she's crying again because she's looking for sympathy. EJ, how do you feel about that narrative? Because that and driving the boat, the sex and the drinking and stuff, that's always there. But what I find is just ever present when I even check in on anything Meg is doing is that she's crying because she's looking to gain sympathy from the public.
Yeah, that's actually pretty sad that people can't even have tears. Like, you can't cry, you can't express emotion without it being some kind of sympathy plea. When at the end of the day, I know what it's like to be an emotional person. And sometimes when stuff just hits you, you just got to cry it out. Sometimes crying is just a way to get things out and a way to just express yourself. And it kind of makes you feel better to just kind of get that stuff out of your system when you cry, in my opinion. Like, that's what my tears are for. I'm like, gosh, I just had a really good cry. Like, real talk, like, seriously. But I hate that for her. I hate that people think that you automatically have to have that it's about sympathy. Like, why does she need our sympathy? What she's trying to do is she's trying to be open and vulnerable and talk. Like, that's what people tell you do. You need to talk it out. You need to talk about it. You need to talk about it. Like, that's all you ever hear. You need to talk about it. And she's expressing herself. She's talking about it. And yes, in that pain comes tears. And yes, her mom is gone. Her best friend is gone. So when she talks about that, guess what? She's going to still have those tears because she has feelings. Like, it's like people act like they don't have feelings no more. Like, everybody got to be like tough. Like, can somebody have a doggone feeling? Like, and they be happy when they see a man cry. Like, oh, he cried. Like, come on.
It's either this or they're saying she has the fake protect Black women narrative because she didn't protect Kelsey, and she came at her in her music and the way that the whole trial went. You didn't protect Kelsey, so how can you scream protect me, protect Black women? And why are you always crying in the public looking for sympathy?
Kelsey didn't need protected.
Ashley.
I don't think it's about gaining sympathy either. I think that Meg is just a deeply feeling person, and I think she can be. Like, humans were given the ability to cry for a reason, and if she feel like she need to cry, damn it, she needs to cry. When she was doing that SNL performance, she was pissed at herself that she cried up there.
Girl.
I don't think it's a gimmick. Like, my discernment does not give me red flags about the authenticity of her tears at all. I think she feels things deeply and she gonna cry. I'm gonna cry too. EJ already said she gonna cry as well. Like, some of us are just going to cry, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's better out than in at the end of the day. And baby, cry as much as you need to cry until you get better. Period. And give 2 F's what these people think, because people are going to judge her no matter what. If she didn't cry after everything, they'd be like, well, it couldn't have been that bad because she didn't even cry about it. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You can't win for losing. Girl, cry.
And I was just so sad for her because she was like, I hate crying. I don't want people to think I'm weak. I was like, oh, girl. It's like, I just know my mama, she would have said, girl, pull this together, get yourself together. I can't be out here crying in the public. I want to appear a certain way. I was like, oh Lord, it just felt bad. Okay.
First of all, I would have told Tori to stand in the chair and say it to my face, since he always got something. Next, they hate to see, because the thing is, when Black women shed some tears, they're not used to us being soft, because we've been conditioned from slavery to not cry, because they would take the Black women who cried and sell off their children and husbands to teach them a lesson to not cry. Okay. And so when they start crying, they don't know what to do with our tears, because nobody is there to say, oh, you can feel better, or, oh, you can cry. They literally do not. People don't know how to console a Black woman when she is in a soft place. They don't know how to be there. They don't know how to be supportive of that. They don't know how to be a shoulder to lean on because we're expected to be that for other people. Like, no, when I cry, I'm supposed to go to you. So then when you cry, I don't got nothing for you. Like, I don't know what to do that. And so people get offended by Black women tears. Now everybody's offended because she wants to be in a soft place.
I love Kay so much.
She said it goes back to slavery.
They said he gonna stone your children.
Trying to teach y'all something on this Sunday.
Kids.
I love Kay so
That's
much.
why we don't cry today.
Kay gonna go back to some biblical slavery times, and this all ties back. We gonna make it full circle because it absolutely does, and I really hate that for her because we don't end off with closure that, and I'm expecting her to be just well overnight, but there still is stemming from these situations and also stemming from her mother and how she was brought up. What you crying for? Get it together, like. Because I need to cry and I need to be vulnerable and emotional.
Punishment. Like if you felt sensitive enough to cry, they thought something bad was going to happen to you for crying. Like you got punished for crying. That's why she was so afraid to cry, because afraid of being punished for her tears. And what happened when she cried in public? Punishment for her tears. It
was. That's why it took us so long. We had to get a key to the city to go back here and visit her grave for the first time. Years later of us being, it's hot girl summer and hot girl this and driving the boat and accolades and Grammys and just all these #1 singles. And yet we still hadn't grieved up until this point for her dad, for the grandma, for her mother, for anything, for herself and her experience. And we had to get a key to the city to come back here and go, you know what, while I'm here, let me go and visit my mom. I thought this was very sad also because the fact that she just felt like she needed to stay away, or even that it was like she didn't want to, I felt like she didn't want to visit because she didn't want to let her mom down or get here in that emotional state that she's been in, because she know her mom wouldn't want her to be projecting that and staying strong in your career. And like she said, I'm not going to let no man be my downfall. I'm going to keep going. But I just hope she finds peace and know that it's okay for her to grieve and cry and show every facet of emotions that she wants to as a Black woman, because why can't you? Who gives a damn what anybody says? Anybody want to chime in on her visiting her mom?
No, I think people do what they need to feel like they need to do, right? And as long as that gives her some comfort or solace, that's special. I will say the key to the city was hilarious. When she said, well, what can I do with it? He said, well, you can come and go as you want. I thought that was a funny moment. But yeah, baby, whatever you got to do to heal, do that. I'm just glad she's now coming home, because remember, she said she wouldn't go back to Texas because it brought back so many memories. So I'm just happy she's taking these steps and coming back home, whatever that looks like for her.
Anybody else before we move on?
Okay. That was a big step. I was happy for her. That I love that.
Oh man, you can come and go as you please. We're gonna take a moment. We're about to start wrapping it up, but I do want to have a little break and acknowledge that it is almost 150 people in here. If you are new here, if you have never seen any of our faces, please take this little break to go and not only hit that like button, go and comment if you are having a good time here in the chat, express your thoughts on the doc, and also go and come back. But leave and go and subscribe to every single woman here on their panel. If their links are not in the chat, they are definitely down there in the description box. We will be right back. Thank you guys so much for being here.
He know he giving his money to make it. He know it's very expensive to date me. Told him go put my name on that account because when I need money, I ain't tryna wait. I can be with, no, oh, you can't touch this.
Thank you guys so much. We get to having our day in court. We get to having our day in court, and baby, the way that Tori was oozing confidence, because who going to jail? Tori said, "Who going to jail?" But where he is uber confident in himself, and I love the animation, throughout the doc, as we stated. Megan is breaking down, looking good in that purple suit, but breaking down nonetheless, just feeling like what this could mean for not only herself but for other women, and how symbolic this could be, that if I can get shot cold blood in the street by a man and he get off, and I have, means and lawyers and this, that, and the third, what does it mean for, the little women who are, damaged throughout everyday life, and they can't, get justice if I can't. So it just means a whole lot to her. And we just see how much pressure she's under. Kay, how did you feel about this day in court and Tori being like uber confident, and then you have the complete opposite with Megan having to really get up there and say her piece, and maybe even fathoming the thought that I might walk away with nothing and this man could go free?
He is the definition of short people are evil because they're closer to hell. Not me though, but Tori. Because that is an evil little demon troll sitting there like he is a black man. He is afforded all this luxury and stuff, and that he created enough heat surrounding her that he wouldn't be dragged to hell like he ended up doing anyway.
Hey, I love a good Barb. Hi. But y'all run up a chat. Y'all run that up when y'all be trying to defend y'all queen. Get on in here. Tell your friends to come over. Hey, boo. Thank you. I just want to acknowledge that, Barb. We love a good Barb. Them Barbs be rolling deep. Hey, Tamika. Hey. Okay, go ahead, Kay. I just want to acknowledge that, Barb. Hey, boo.
But I'm glad that his smile quickly turned to a frown, because you don't get to be disrespectful and evil and put out just pure maliciousness in the world towards people and don't think that you're somehow not going to pay for it. But he really thought that he could. He really thought that. I don't know. Maybe because he's from Canada, he thought he had white privilege or something. I don't know. But it wasn't that, Tori. No, nobody cared about you and the overuse of that black marker that you put across your hairline.
Not the Beijing.
Kay and these insults are sending me today. EJ, how did you feel about the trial? You muted, EJ.
That was a good one, Kay. I like that one. That was a good one. The hairline thing, that was tight. Okay. The trial, as far as the trial was concerned, I was just hoping that Meg got her justice, and we did see him be super overly confident. We did see him in those suits day in and day out, just looking like no one could touch him. And it was just hella annoying just to see that he wasn't taking this serious. That means you have no remorse. That means you didn't have even enough remorse to even not just smile, not just come in there with this big Kool-Aid of a smile every single time, acting like the world is mine or some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It was just doing too much for me. But it is what it is. And karma is a BI.
Absolutely. Ashley?
Child, he thought he was OJ. Buki, you aren't OJ, sir. But pride goes before a fall, and he was so prideful. He was out here just look at them chompers going at it. He just knew that he was going to be saved. Humility is always going to win the day. I think Megan just really wanted justice. I mean, at this point, after everything she had gone through, the fact that she didn't even press the charges, the state picked him up, and he went on this national tour trying to disparage her and say who she wasn't and what she was. He got his just desserts. I'm going to leave it there. I think Kay gave him the business good enough. But Megan looked fabulous. Okay, we're going to get into this court artistry because I'd frame it, because why not, Meg? You looked good. You did your thing, your day in court, and you ultimately got justice.
She did. Like, look, y'all cutting up in these comments. I'm not going to play with y'all in Daystar. But we're getting to the sentencing and taking back the narrative. Like, we see her waiting, and she's kind of waiting on pins and needles, because there was, we see it happen every day. He could have, gotten away with it, and it would have just been, another casualty and she would just went on getting I think even though she's still scrutinized, but we're still healing, and it kind of made it all worth it. when she gets the sentencing and she breaks down and she's crying, I was like, oh girl, oh girl. And even, lastly, we see, the cousin there and the baby and her just wanting to have a piece of home there. I was like, we got to get some more people in here who are surrounding Meg in love and with purpose and who are with her for, who she is inside and not what she has, because I just kept seeing worker bee after worker bee. I was like, okay, this is cute, whatever. I'm glad this lady here to hug her. But where your people stay? I need where's the family? Okay. But Ashley, how did you feel when she got that news that he got the top penalty? He's going to jail.
I think she felt vindication, and I was happy for her because I know that felt like closure in that moment for it. I knew she still knew she was going to have to deal with the court of public opinion just because the courts found him guilty. She knew that she was still going to be up against whoever was out there against her before. They'd have to acknowledge the ruling, but you know how people don't believe what happens in court anyway. They'd be like, that's unjust. Free him. He's innocent, whatever. But I think in that moment, it was nice to be believed by someone, especially after you've been talked bad about for years. Because again, this trial lasted way longer, they say in the doc, than she ever thought it would even ultimately amount to. So I felt it for her. I felt the relief for her. Like, at least this chapter is done and maybe I can move on with some sense of peace. Yeah. And she's been killing it ever since. So good on her. I just hope that she's still following and doing everything she needs to get the rest of her healing, because it's a process.
Child, the fact that it got worse, like people are mad at her, like, oh, you heathen, like you made this man lose. It was one thing for you to have him on trial. He's lost 10 years of his life for you for what? Like, he probably didn't even do it. Free Tory, like people are mad. Okay.
Again, do we not want to see Black women win? Like, what do y'all want from us sometimes? Like, what do you really want? Like, what did they expect to see her in this arena? What did they want to come out of this? Did they really think, because it ain't like she wasn't shot, she had bullet fragments in her foot. So in what way do people's twisted mind think that's ever okay? Is that okay for Big Mama to be shot in her foot? Is that okay for your illegitimate daughter to be shot in her foot?
Your arm.
Or for your raggedy sister to be shot in her foot? But for some reason, Meg can be shot in her foot and now she's the guilty person. I want somebody to explain that and make it make sense to me.
They can't.
Like Candy's missing all them prior charges, and he wasn't even supposed to have a position of Candy. Don't nobody care about that. Nobody cares about the actual facts. They just want to see this Black woman with her hoish ways, her drinking ways, sleeping behind her best friend's back with her man, because she was gonna be Mrs. Daystar from what Kelsey, how she was acting. And yeah, she deserved everything she got. People are sick. EJ, how did you feel when Megan started crying, girl?
I was crying.
I know you were.
I was crying hard. Like, and then when she hit that cry, that would tip me. I said, oh girl, don't do me like this right now. Ooh, I was crying hard. But I felt like she felt vindicated. Like she felt like finally somebody heard me, somebody believed me. And I know that she knew that the trolling wasn't going to stop. I knew that she knew that was going to keep going. But throughout this entire thing, she just wanted somebody to say something nice. Like, just one person stand up for me, one person, be on my side. And this was like the biggest person being on her side, because the court said, yes, you're guilty and you going down and goodbye. And I felt like that was like a big vindication for her and a time for her to really just release, just go ahead and get it all out. But I just wanted to give her a hug. Like, in this moment, I wanted to just be like, can I please just give you a hug? Because I'm a hugger and I feel like she needs a hug, girl.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a slow healing process, because she's back, but she's not completely, like you said, I'm not 100%, but I'm getting into the headspace where, I don't care. I don't even deal with anybody says about me, but I do want her to get surrounded by just a few more, couple more people with true intent who aren't on her payroll, just to know. And I know that's probably hard to find, because who's not going to want to get close and next to Megan Thee Stallion now, but y'all find a few more people, because the cousin, she got a life too. Mama got to have a life too. Last question here. I'm gonna come to case.
I was gonna say, now I know this one.
gonna come to Kay because I feel like Kay knows it. This is the average casual Megan Thee Stallion listener. Kay, what does Megan refer to her fan base as? A, the Stallions, B, the hot girls, C, the hotties, or D, the real hot girls?
The hotties. I know this one. I know this one.
No, you know you be playing, Kay. I don't be knowing. This one's my A. We know. TG, you know it.
That would be that we talking about Real and Chance, the Stallionaires.
The Stallionaires.
The
Stallionaires.
It's y'all, the hotties. The hotties got Megan back if don't nobody else have her back. But closing this out here in EJ, I'm going to come to you first. We do have her currently getting a whole lot of backlash just for this doc. It feels like it rolled back over into droves, and they just like they remembered why they were hating on her in the first place, and like this is why we couldn't stand you. This just people are now focusing in on the same thing that they focused on when the trial was happening. So you did cheat with Tori, you slept with Tori, and you a liar. I was like, people are zero in on that again, and it's feeling like they're being validated in their hate for Megan because you're a liar. You're the liar we always thought you was, and free Tori. You deserve everything that's coming at you. What should Megan do next? Like, what should her next step be moving forward after this doc and just rolling with this backlash that she's receiving all over again?
Yeah. So first and foremost, let me say this real quick. If they knew anything about it, this is already public. This is already public information. This was already said. This is already done. Yeah. Like everybody already knew this, but for some reason, I don't know. Maybe some people didn't catch it, but here we are. But I really think that Megan just needs to continue to do what she's doing now. And that's continue to do her therapy, continue to try to get in that mindset of not really caring what people have to say, because people are miserable. They're going to say what they want to say. They're going to say something just to say something. I feel like Megan I feel like she still has so much more to do. I feel like she still hasn't reached that pinnacle yet. Like, I love Meg. I mean,
28?
Yeah.
20,
like like late 20s, like her later 20s, but Meg still has a lot to do, and I feel like at the end of the day, she Texas bred. You know what I'm saying? We Texas strong up in this mug, and that's what we do. So at the end of the day, Meg is gonna be okay. She just got to get the right people surrounded by her, behind her, with her, and let the rest of this foolishness go. Like, as far as these internet trolls is just sad. And if they had the moment to be around her, to be in her world, they would absolutely take it. You know what I'm saying? And it would be a totally different story. It'd be, oh, I love you. I never believed that. And girl, no. You know what I'm saying? Get out of my face. But she gonna be all right. I believe that for every hate that she get, that she also got supporters who saw this as, oh, her being vulnerable, her being open. And maybe I did misjudge the situation, because now it really is in her own words.
Ashley?
Yeah, I think she needs to just continue living. I don't think there's any specific action she needs to take, but to take time to heal, right? I still think she needs to have a community in place to surround her and lift her up, because it doesn't get easier, right? Because now we know for the next couple months, this is what's going to be on people's minds, and they're going to come back for her. But I just think she needs to continue to shine, continue to grow. And like I said, surround herself with people who actually love her for her. And I know that's easier said than done, because I think once you get status and you get some change, people gonna act different. But I really hope that she does find, or already has, some people in her corner that really love and care about her. Yeah, I just think she needs to move on from this. At this point, I hope she can put it behind her and press on to the new thing and the next thing. And I hope it doesn't follow her around forever.
Absolutely. Brittany E here with the super chat. Thank you so much. Her being an only child has a lot to do with her being naive, and a lot to do with her not opening up to people and being trustworthy. Absolutely. That's why I want Mama to stay out and kind of prep her. She's tough and she's resilient, as we can see just with how she's been able to navigate through. Like, it doesn't even feel like she's Megan has been active as a rapper, like what in like the public eye, like superstardom for 4 or 5 years. And like half of that has just been on trial and all this scrutiny. So she's very, very strong, but I can understand why she is a little bit non-trusting even with the only child syndrome, her mom, or even being shot by somebody she thought was her friend, or even Kelsey, somebody picking and choosing sides from she thought Kelsey was her friend. Like, yeah, but what she say her daddy said? Thank you so much, Brittany. What she say her dad said in his doc? Everything green
That
ain't your friend.
grins, yeah,
Everything
everything
green ain't your
grin ain't your
friend.
friend,
It's
period.
not. Kay, what should Megan's next step be?
Continue to do therapy. Take some life lessons from Beyonce and just be quiet. You ain't got to go back and forth with these internet trolls. You really ain't got to do that. Just leave them on silent. Go ahead and drop the anime because I'll be all over that. And do not listen to TP in the chat. Do not put your hands on Michael B. Jordan.
What?
Lord have how he get
What
in it.
was that in the chat, Kay?
He did talk about they would look good together. Don't do that.
Lord, why would you even see that? Kay, you would spot a Michael B. Jordan comment out of everything. All right.
But go ahead and drop the anime though. I'll be there for that.
Oh Lord, Kay said, "Now look, I'm all for you healing, but stay. Don't mess with my man." Okay, Kay.
Lord, every time.
Shout out to all of you guys for spending this afternoon with us. We most definitely appreciate it. Let me go ahead and run this ad because we not only do things here, we also do things behind paywall, and we do have some wonderful, wonderful members. We are moving forward with our Saturday night watch-alongs, moving on over to the Discord so y'all could physically at the same time in the same place virtually watch the film with us. Next Saturday is EJ's turn, and this is the movie that she picked. We will be right back to tell you guys what we have coming up next and where y'all need to go to be supporting us.
Oh, Mr. Clear! What are you doing to my face? I wasn't doing that.
In here with me. Anyway, Dookie, you don't want me.
I don't either, right?
Problem with these other people around here. They causing all this problem because they mad because they're ugly. There ought to be a law against two ugly people because they'll bring in another ugly person in the world. If you don't believe me, file ugly person home. Somebody ugly will open the door. Won't nobody open the door because don't nobody want.
Child. Him and that ugly speech will never go out of style. I love that. Like, you follow another. I bet your ugly person open the door. I love that. Especially if you some OG subscribers here. Y'all know about Talking Dirty After Dark. And even if you don't, it's a really great film. I'm glad EJ picked it. And we'll be getting into it Saturday. Well, yeah, Saturday for the watch along. But I am gonna put this here. Do you go like this? Yeah, that's how I go. Kay, I'm gonna come to you first. Let the people know what you got coming up and where they need to be at to go and support you. If I can open this thing, child. There we go.
Hey, everyone, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Of course, y'all know we here every day. Make sure you come back this evening as we talk about Three Women and how Twilight caught a stray. Tomorrow, disclaimer. Let's see. Tuesday, y'all know we're talking From. Speaking of From, you all, I will be dropping a special interview from a cast member of From later on this week. So be on the lookout for that. Penguin on Wednesdays. What else we got? Oh, Married at First Sight, y'all. We in the reality TV bag. Very interesting stuff here. And Blockbuster movie night. Y'all hit them memberships. We have a good time with our movie nights. Y'all know, get your pajamas, get your snacks, and come on and watch these movies with us. Shout out to EJ for hitting her 9K while we're on the live.
Y'all saw that? She sure did. She sure did. With that being
and it's still my birthday weekend. It ain't over.
It's your birthday.
I'm gonna come to EJ next to let the people know what she has going on her channel as well.
Hey y'all, first and foremost, thank you guys for helping me to hit 9K. I appreciate you guys so much. I really, really do. And as we already they already stated, of course, we're gonna be talking about Talking Dirty After Dark. Y'all, this is one of my favorite movies. It's an old one, an old throwback. So definitely come through. We're gonna be in the Discord, so I'm excited about that. Excited to hang out with everybody. On my channel, of course, I talk about From on Mondays with my girl Tamika's Den. I also talk about Found with Tamika's Den on Fridays. The Zatima is over with, but I still have tons of Zatima content up if you're into that show as well. And then, one of my biggest shows is the Family Business. I always have content up about family business, and I actually do have a book club up about the family business as well. So if you're interested in the family business books, then, holla at your girl, turn your notifications on. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. 9K, 10K on the way, y'all. Woo!
Mm-hmm. You heard what the lady said. Put the money in the bag. Last but not least, Ashley, what is so sweet over there with the perspective? How many videos you putting out this week? 17?
I don't know yet, but just make sure that you are there tonight for Three Women. Again, we're getting into Maggie, Lord, and hopefully we're done with Maggie after tonight. And then tomorrow night, after Disclaimer, remember to stop by. We will be talking Abbott Elementary. It's our first time tackling Abbott, so just make sure you come through. It's going to be super casual, super good time. We're just going to be catching up on season 4. As far as uploads, please go check out my From review. That will be up tonight ahead of our Tuesday live. And yeah, just hit the notification bell. Make sure that you're subscribed to everyone on the panel and drop a comment. Let us know how you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be over there.
Just keep it cute though, because my block ministry is super strong. It is.
Ashley don't give as many chances as I do. I ain't telling y'all. Ashley gonna block you. she gonna block you real heavy. As Ashley says, stay on the lookout for tonight. If you are getting into Three Women with us, that's gonna be be there for that. And yes, Monday, getting into Disclaimer in Abbott Elementary. I will be dropping the link for that. Not too much later today, so you guys can put your notifications on for that. If you are a person who enjoys Abbott Elementary, we can't wait to talk about that. Matter of fact, I am going to close out and leave you guys with the weekly TV guide of what we have coming up this week. We will definitely see you guys later in the day after that, in the day after that one. Hey y'all, see y'all shortly.